I'm from secondary 1 of the Bina Talenta Graha school. Today I'm gonna show you a presentation about the scientific method. So, the scientific method is a body of techniques for investigating phenomena, acquiring new knowledge, or correcting and integrating previous knowledge to be termed scientific. The scientific method has been used by the scientists for over 300 years. It is first used in the 17th century. There are 7 steps of the scientific method. The first step is about asking questions or identifying the problem that you are researching. The second step of the scientific method is about collecting information or gather background research. The third step is constructing your hypothesis and make your hypothesis. The fourth step of the scientific method is test with an experiment or do an experiment. The fifth step is about analyzing data. And the sixth is communicate your results or share your results to others. The scientific method starts when you ask a question about something you observe. How, what, when, who, which, why, and where. The second step of the scientific method is about collecting data. Rather than starting from scratch and putting together a plan for answering your questions, you want to be a savvy scientist using library and internet search to help you find the best way to do things and ensure that you don't repeat mistakes from the past. The third step of the scientific method is about constructing a hypothesis. A hypothesis is an educated guess about how things work. It is an attempt to answer your questions with an explanation that can be tested. A good hypothesis allows you to then make a prediction. The fourth step of the scientific method is test with an experiment. Your experiment tests whether your prediction is accurate and thus your hypothesis is supported or not. It is important for your experiment to be a fair test. To conduct a fair test by making sure that you change only one factor at a time while keeping all other conditions the same. You should also repeat your experiment several times to make sure that the first result won't just an accident or a coincidence. The fifth step of the scientific method is about analyzing the data. Once your experiment is complete, you collect your measurements and analyze them to see if they support your hypothesis or not. Scientists often find that their predictions were not accurate and their hypothesis was not supported. And in such cases, they will communicate the results of their experiment and then go back and construct a new hypothesis and predictions based on the information they learned during their experiments. This starts much of the process of the scientific method over again. Even if they find that their hypothesis was supported, they may want to test it again in a new way. The sixth step of and the last step of the scientific method is communicating your results. After doing those 5 steps, to complete your science fair project, you will communicate your results to others in a final report and a display board. Professional scientists do almost exactly the same thing by publishing their final report in a scientific journal or by presenting their results on a poster or during a talk at a scientific meeting. In a science fair, judges are interested in your findings regardless of whether or not they support your original hypothesis. Okay, thank you for listening. And any questions?
Okay, so every step of the scientific method is important, right?
Yes.
So how about if we, for example, don't construct a hypothesis?
If we don't construct a hypothesis, your experiment may be ruined. Any more questions? Okay, no more questions?
So okay, I have questions for you. So what if you skip one of those process or step? Is it possible for people like maybe this the scientist is in rush with something, so they kind of skip one of the steps? Is it possible?
No, I think not, because it will ruin their whole experiment, I think.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for listening.